Hey guys, we have Team Liquid versus Optic bot review. TL, in my opinion, is still the best team. I know some people have been saying CLG's been looking much stronger, they could challenge TL, but honestly, I think when TL turns it on, CLG stands no shot. Optic, on the other hand, started really hot in the early part of the season, but now they've been slowing down. Meteos and Crown are still monsters, but there's a little bit of a problem of getting figured out. People realize Dokka's best when he's on tanks. Dokka doesn't play that well when given resource heavy carries, so that's where I feel like Optic is struggling a little bit. So yeah, let's see how this matchup versus TL and Optic went. Ezreal ban. Arrow's actually been such a key player for Optic. Optic bot lane's been able to build a lead on their own and actually carry the team, so I really like the bans towards Ezreal, or bans towards bot lane. Sejuani ban, mostly targeted at Meteos. Optic just banning out Sona, Karma. I mean, Sona, we don't have to talk that much about it. It's an A. Sona's good in an A. Karma, one of the best first picks right now. TL just targeting the hell out of Meteos. Sejuani, Sylas ban. This probably is going to signal a Jarvan first pick. I would say the two most premier jungles right now are Sejuani and Jarvan. And you can pick Sylas into Seju, which makes it nice. You can pick Sylas into Jarvan, but early game can be problematic when you pick Sylas into Jarvan. But for a team like Optic, where Meteos is really the core of their roster, I can see why they want to ban out Sejuani, Sylas. These are like really good team fighting jungle champions, and TL is recognizing, hey, this is where they're good. This is where they're strong. Let's see what Optic bans. Final ban, Rakan. So interesting Rakan ban. I thought the ban would have to be Yuumi because the really strong first pick that's open right now is Yuumi, and TL probably expected Optic to ban Yuumi, and they first picked Jarvan, but they're gonna end up first picking Yuumi, and then now this gives away Jarvan to Optic. So TL was about to force Optic into a 1-for-0 trade, Yuumi for or Jarvan for nothing, but Optic, instead of going for the 1-for-0 trade where they ban Yuumi and they give TL Jarvan, they're like, okay, we're gonna go for 1-for-1 trade where we give them the Yuumi, but we get the Jarvan in return. Draven, Jarvan. So Draven straight into Yuumi. Interesting. Wow, the Lucian pick here is a little bit questionable for me because the Lucian matchup into Draven is pretty hard. There's very little things you can do as the Lucian into Draven. Whenever you guys are trading autos, it's so favorable for Draven, and getting your dash cancelled ever versus a Draven is really dangerous. Like the decent picks into Draven would be something like Ezreal or maybe Caitlyn with like a pushing support, or Xayah Rakan, but Xayah Rakan not possible. Caitlyn not good with Yuumi, Ezreal banned, so that's probably why Doublelift opted into Lucian. Let me see if I can take time and think of a better pick. Maybe something like a Varus, but even then, because they have a Jarvan, like Varus feels really bad. There's actually no real good pick, so that's probably why Doublelift opted into Lucian. Lucian feels bad here, and Lucian's not a great pick, but he just does not have options. And then, I mean, Optic taking Jarvan, as we talked about, this 1-for-1 trade. The Yuumi ban was supposed to go here, but because it didn't, TL wanted to first pick Jarvan with the Yuumi ban, but that's why they traded 1-for-1, something I explained earlier. Let's see what TL ends up picking. Aatrox. I mean, Aatrox always a great blind. With the nerfs and him no longer rezzing, a lot of people have been saying Aatrox has actually gotten stronger because they nerfed his ultimate by no longer being able to res, but he gets a lot more lifesteal now from spells and auto attack, so he became more sticky as a champion, but not as bluntly OP in team fights where you kind of have to ignore him but also deal with him, because you have to ignore him because you don't want to kill him and have him res, but you also have to deal with him because it's a giant Aatrox like who's doing massive damage on top of your backline. Nautilus into Yuumi, I mean, it's a classic, it's the pick that people identified as being good into Yuumi. Yuumi's bad versus displacements, bad versus a lot of CC, because one, I mean, when Yuumi jumps on top of your AD and there's only one target, that AD getting CC'd is really bad. And also, CC against Yuumi prevents her from being able to jump on top of her AD. So, I mean, that's why people have been liking Nautilus into Yuumi, but one problem people have been running into is the Yuumi lane being able to just poke the hell out of Nautilus and not really giving the engage range. Let's see what Optic bans out. Because they have the jungle already picked, I probably expect jungle bans. Yeah, Skarner, Lee Sin, or even Rek'Sai would be great bans from Optic side. From TL side, because they already have top lane picked out, probably top lane bans, maybe like a Poppy, Camille, whatever Optic might play. TF is just a good blind ban that TL is doing towards Optic. Optic loves blinding TF, even more so than champions like Corki Azir. Ooh, Trundle. I mean, I expected them to ban out jungle. I thought it'd go more like the Rek'Sai Lee Sin route, but TL or Optic actually banning Skarner Trundle, which is probably more in Xmithy's wheelhouse than the other bans I suggested. The Vlad ban is a little bit interesting. I'm not sure why it's really coming out. I mean, Dokla Vlad honestly isn't a thing, and I don't think they have to worry about the Vlad counter pick when they're picking stuff like Corki or Azir. Yeah, the Vlad ban feels really weird for me. Corki blind. Ooh. Oh man, this is something that bypassed Optic completely and actually bypassed my mind. By banning out Skarner Trundle, they left themselves really open to Yasuo Gragas and TL opting into Yasuo Gragas. Yasuo Gragas, one of the strongest 2v2s right now. Yasuo, pretty decent into Corki. Generally, Yasuo does really well into AD carry like champions. Maybe not early in lane, but later on, when it comes to 2v2s, when it comes to team fight, Yasuo can really shine versus these AD carry champions. So if you look at both comps, I mean, it's NA. Ultimately, both comps want to team fight. TL has a great engage in Gragas. That's an engage right here. A lot of threats. He's a threat. Threat. So a lot of multi-threat comp with good engage, but they want to look for flanks. Yasuo wants to be looking for a flank. Gragas wants to be looking for kind of a side angle. Aatrox also wants to be looking for flank. On the other hand, for Optic, they have a lot of CC. CC from Jarvan, CC from Poppy, CC from Nautilus, and also they're going to have a lot of tanks. I'd imagine Poppy would be going tank. The Jarvan might not go tank, but he's definitely most likely to go tank than damage. So it's a comp with really strong frontline and a lot of CC and really good backline. Like the core of Corki and Draven is a really nice backline. Good damage split. 80 carries, deal a ton of damage. The only thing I guess kind of bad about this comp is this comp can be very one-dimensional. It can't really split push, and the only thing it really wants to do is team fight, and it doesn't have any other tools other than that. It has damage, it has CC, it has tank. It's a very honest comp. We want to team fight 5v5. Where TL comp is also about team fighting. They have really strong early game 2v2. That's something we can look for with Gragas and Yasuo, but a lot of different ways to play out the fight. Aatrox coming in from the side, Gragas landing an ult on the Corki or the Draven, and Yasuo following up right away with Yuumi on top of the Yasuo. It can get really, really creative in terms of how TL wants to take this. Early game though, this is where Optic has to be really careful with Gragas Yasuo, especially with the mid 2v2. TL is going to have to be careful regarding the bot side. Draven and the Nautilus can put a lot of pressure on the Yuumi and the Lucian. So that's kind of my very brief team comp review. Let's go into the game. Whenever players like have their champions picked out, mostly like with your coaches, they're talking a little bit about what the comp does, a little bit about level 1s. Last minute reminders, probably something like, remember this guy likes to do this pathing, watch out for this side. Just a lot of final touches. I love that moment, giving your kind of final prep talk and talking to your players before you leave. Alright, let's get started. Probably going to expect a very standard level 1 unless TL does something crazy. So you can see Xmithy placed this ward right away. placing ward right away, and he's recalling. This is the trinket trick where you place your ward and you get the red trinket and you get the cooldown for it much faster. Meteos also started red trinket. He's probably going to slowly clear out a ward. Meteos loves doing tricky pathing on Jarvan. Whenever he starts red, or whenever he's starting purple side, he likes doing this red into bot lane gank. That's one possibility that he likes. Another one that he likes doing is the red into blue into bot lane gank. So I'm going to expect him to do either of those two. Anytime I watch Meteos play Jarvan, there has been something that he throws out early game that's a little tricky. Oh wow, starting blue with the leash. Completely different from what he normally does, so that in itself is also tricky. Xmithy also starting blue. Both these junglers are mind gaming the hell out of each other. These are like both Jarvan and Gragas don't like blue starts. Meteos start still doing buff to buff. Let's see where he's gonna end up. Okay, he's doing buff to double golems or Krugs. That's gonna give him level 3. Probably a little pressure on top side. Okay, he hit level 3. Let's see what he does. No pressure on top side at all. Xmithy doing almost a full clear with the Gromp, or without the Gromp. Let's think for a second and why both players did that pad thing. He probably thought top wasn't gankable, so he didn't gank top. Mid was pushed out, so he's not ganking mid. Why is he not doing a full clear though? Why isn't he taking Wraith and Gromp? He feels like he has to be bot side for the scuttle. Can't really figure out why Meteos did this pad thing. As for Xmithy, this is just a very efficient Gragas pad thing, because Gragas can clear out AoE camps like Wolves, Wraiths, and Double Golems really easily, so he's doing the 2 main camps with the 3 camps that are easy for Gragas. So for Xmithy, it's a little bit more of a power farming path. For Meteos, I don't really understand. Ending up on bot side of the map, Xmithy able to take Scuttle. He's very happy with his early game. Jensen's doing really well in the Corki Yasuo lane. Like later levels, Corki has to be really careful because of the potential 2v2. And earlier on is when you can have a little bit of pressure on Yasuo, but it looks like Jensen just free farmed completely. With the push that Jensen gave him, Xmithy was able to sneak in and then threatened the gank on Crown, but didn't really happen. Got the ward, taking the Wraith away from Meteos. Dokla, what happened here? Let's go back a little bit. Looks like he started a fight on Impact. Impact doing a great job of not using Q during Dokla's W, forced the flash out. If he actually followed through with the flash, that would have been a kill. Really good job though, building his own lead. Ooh, nice one from Jensen. So Jensen sitting on top of this, trying to gank. So also when you ward this, a problem with warding this is the vision is like right here. So there's a small blind spot. And Meteos was able to camp into the small blind spot. That's why Jensen doesn't know Meteos is here. It's a really weird blind spot, but there is a small blind spot right there. Corki porting in, Jarvan coming in. Jensen did a good job of dodging, but he still has to walk a little bit backward to dodge. So in range of Meteos and Crown, got red smited, taking burn damage. Just a nice little move for Meteos. Meteos always does like such a good job of annoying the hell out of the enemy mid laner. Whenever I was coaching Bjerg and Phoenix, something they would commonly say is, Meteos might not be the best jungler, but he's definitely the most annoying jungler to play with. It comes from him fucking with people's backs. Like, he loves going to mid lane and fucking with people's back. He loves freezing for mid laners. Like, when you watch Meteos, really look at mid lane and see how much of an annoyance he can be to the enemy mid lane. Went for an invade on a timing where Jensen was back, but Xmitty came in time. Okay. While Gang getting to a very, very crucial point. It's the point where Yasuo is going to be level 6, Gragas is going to be level 6, and there's going to be a play made around mid lane. That's the whole point of Yasuo Gragas. Gragas has flash. Ooh, it's coming, boys. But once that Gragas hits level 6, they're going to look for it. Gragas start clearing out his double golems again. Double golems give the most XP, or Krugs give the most XP. Very common pass to constantly do. Impact doing a great job of still building his own lead slowly topside. Gragas took his own blue. No need to give it to the Yasuo. Looking for a gank topside because the Poppy is kind of low HP, doesn't have flash. Didn't end up going for the gank. Placed a ward on the red. Corky's pushed up, so he's looking to go in right now. Crown doing a great job of hugging the other side where Xmitty is not at. Ooh, Xmitty didn't feel like they could one-shot him, so he's not even going for the ult there. Curious if he can just kill him right here. Go for the ult, kill him with Jensen. Does he have enough burst? If he hits the R, does he have enough burst? I guess he's afraid of Meteos, because he didn't know where Meteos is for a while, and Meteos recalled, and if they just go for a naked fight here with him not having Q and just starting the fight on Crown and Crown lives, they lose the fight. And also he put the ward on the red buff and he doesn't see Meteos there, so that probably makes him scared. Because like an ult here with Yasuo follow up would have been really nice, but just due to Meteos not showing on the map, Xmitty can't commit. Small tidbits like that, because when you just look at it, like I think it's very easy to say something like, why didn't he just commit there? The jungler isn't there. But we're playing with perfect information, or we're watching with perfect information, while the players aren't playing with perfect information, so a little bit of a guessing game for them. Bot built a decent lead, 20 CS up, starting the dragon. Ooh, Jensen barely finished his recall. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Wow, this is actually really bad for TL bot lane. They both, they burned all 3 summoners and they still died. And let's talk about why this happened and why this is so bad. So, there's one thing that TL bot lane is amazing at, and it's wave control and playing with the jungle. Like, you never ever see TL bot lane get caught out like this, so it's a really rare occurrence. They're not a team to get caught out, and they play very well with their jungler. Like, they push out and hit turret plating only when the jungler is there. So they're a team that's just usually really on point about not dying when they don't need to. Now you see Crown moving bot side after they canceled. So the usual movement for the mid laner here is clear this out and then take the move. But because he knows the enemy mid recalled, he has a small window here. So Core and Double probably just looking to clear this out and recall. Let's see. Yep, just looking to clear that out and recall. And Optic engaging the fight right away because they know Corky's coming. Like, Corky's this far away and they started the fight already. Like, slow it down now. Doublelift got hit by the Doublelift, waited to use his dash until Draven E hit him, and then now Core JJ dislocating to make sure he can block the hook for Doublelift, and then popping right back in. Optic big as soon as Core JJ blocked the hook, flashing and rooting double. Like, the mechanics coming out from Optic in terms of the order they're doing it and playing against the tools TL has is excellently done. They're just doing things in the right order. And then now Yuumi without his AD there is just free food, able to take it. Beautiful. Flashing out to make sure he doesn't get killed. And while that's happening, TL can't put on pressure because Yasuo already based. There was just a very small window where TL felt overconfident about being able to push out bottom, and also Crown most likely going back mid. But Optic was able to take full advantage of that small opportunity, and Crown just rushed bot side. This was just more well played. You can see how like Double's going for minions here. Like he knows he needs to get out. Like he's just hitting this knowing he needs to get out, but was just a little bit too greedy for the cannon when Crown could be coming bottom. And also look at Double here, not using his dash until the E hits, and then he's dashing. And then Core JJ exiting to block the hook as we talked about, but big flashing right after the hook gets blocked. Just everyone's playing it at a top-notch level. The only real bad thing came from TL not backing and just getting greedy for that cannon when they could have just based. Ooh, going in for that second kill when TL doesn't have flash. Very nice. Let's see how this happened. So this is gonna be okay. So they get this kill. Let's see how this happened. After this kill, off the reset, people going back to lane. They see Nautilus and Jarvan mid side. Nautilus and Jarvan sneaking all the way like this. They're probably gonna take the plant over and then appear behind the bot lane. Taking the plant over, appearing behind the bot lane. Double and Core not really realizing they could be behind them, and also the wave was pushed out because the wave initially hit the turret and then it bounced backward. It hit the turret and then it bounced backward. So the wave is pushing out. This was timing where Double had to be really careful, and they're making uncharacteristically bad mistakes where TL bot lane is usually known for being so on point about playing with jungle, but their jungle's on the opposite side of the map and the wave is pushing out, so the wave control is bad. And now going in for the kill. Xmithy trying to get something done on the other side of the map, starting Herald right away because they have 3 people committed boss side. Jensen going to help out with the Herald. But they're just bleeding way too much from bottom. Even if they get Herald here, just the amount they bled from bottom and how unsafe it is for Double and Core to continue playing the game. Yeah. This is the problem. Like, not only are they dying, they're missing multiple waves of farm and XP. So even when they get Herald like this, like just the bot side bleed is so bad. Dokla doing a good job of living. I would back up all the way again. Even if they don't get turret, this is completely fine. The kills on Draven. The kills went on Draven. Draven getting a very early Bloodthirster, able to cash out, and Lucian being falling behind. Like going into mid game, right? The Poppy is just like, whatever. I lost my turret. I'm still going to be very functional as a champion. Lucian, on the other hand, when he doesn't have his core items, not very functional at all. And Draven, especially efficient with gold. So, yeah, even though it might look even or even better for TL, because TL got first turret gold and Herald, this is not a good situation for TL, where Optic's bot lane is fully activated and they're going to be very relevant, and TL bot lane isn't even really on the map right now. Lucian without items is not even a real champion at the moment. They're going to constantly bleed from bot side, where the Poppy is just so happy to just be there and be a Poppy because she's efficient in team fights. And this is Poppy after she lost her turret. Like, she's just able to still like fight the Aatrox and be relevant. I mean, she had to flash out and she didn't need to fight that long, but you can see how in like the early part of the fight, like it's not like Poppy's just getting bullied. She could have taken the initial trade and backed off, but for bot lane, like look how much bullying there is. Like they can't even be in range to be able to last hit. They're just constantly bleeding out more and more so. Wow. Really good job from TL to use the advantage they have top with Impact having TP on the bot lane instead. And a little bit of a greed from Optic here, where they just had to finish off the turret, but instead they went for the dive when they don't know where the jungler is, and Poppy's pushed in all the way. Jungler could be anywhere. They had a lot of vision on the red side of the jungle, so they felt happy, but this side of the map is entirely dark. This side right here is entirely dark, so they couldn't see Xmithy coming in from lane. So they felt really safe, and that's why they played overly confident. And this side of the map is completely dark. So them playing overly confident when they could have just taken turret and recalled. Draven ends up dying, ends up giving up a lot of gold. Dokla TP'd in also, but was just a gift of a kill. A lot of breathing space for TL bot lane now. Doublelift and Core JJ had their ass clenched before this turnaround. Yeah, it was such an easy position for Optic to be able to take bot turret and then take the dragon. Oh man, why didn't double recall here? Oh, he made the same mistake. Oh my god, this is so funny. Made the same mistake of overly greeting, staying for the turret, Crown TP'd in with package. Oof. The worst part of this is Double's actually eating. Double is 2 champions right now because of the Yuumi. That overstay for turret actually cost 2 deaths, and then it also fucks their tempo. Where the situation should have been TL recovered from bot side, they got a decent lead, they have bot lane pushing out, and they can reset first, and the tempo should be on TL side. But now with that double death, the tempo is going to go heavily towards Optic, where they killed both Double and Core JJ. They're going to be able to get bottom turret and then now rotate around the map, and TL is going to have to reply to Optic's play. So like these kind of small deaths, it's not, the deaths itself aren't small because it's a double kill, but more so than just the deaths and the gold swing, the tempo swing and the next play that's going to happen and how that gets set up is so much of a bigger problem when you have people dying in this part of the game. Ooh, Crown wants that booty. Now both mid and jungle has to recall. Optic can get to places first. I don't like Crown overstaying here. Recall, make sure you're at places first. Make sure you guys are putting on the pressure first. Play with the tempo you have. Very strong timing for Quirky, Trinity plus Fork Shoes. Like Optic is feeling good and ready to go. They have the kills on the right people. Majority of their kills on the Draven and the Quirky. This feels so good. Exactly where you want to be. Quirky almost out of mana. He's going to reset soon. Looks like Optic not going to be able to get much out of their little bit of tempo lead they got. Also, usually around level 9, this is where Yuumi poke really starts to hurt, and then this like mid 131 situation, this is where you get really annoyed by the Yuumi and you feel like we have to engage on the Yuumi or we're going to get poked out forever. But because the arrow went Bloodthirster, he doesn't have to deal with that poke at all. Oof, you guys are just overcommitting for a Nautilus. It's play selection from TL. So they're clearing out, Optic's clearing out wars, trying to get vision. Aatrox coming down at a timing, going on big. Great stopwatch, able to dodge the Gragas ult, some of the Aatrox spells. Great reply from Arrow with the ult and the W and the E follow-up. Just TL's looking for the wrong source of play. Remember what I said, like right here, TL just has to recognize like we're not going to get that much pressure and just play a little bit more farther back. This was nice in theory, but because they had the stopwatch, they had to adapt to the play and just back off. And Optic did a good job of replying, but it's also TL being overly aggressive on a target that has stopwatch where they could be a little bit more lenient. Now what are the big points coming up in the game? Inferno Drake, that would mean the second Inferno Drake for TL, first Inferno Drake for Optic. That's really a big thing. Poppy and Aatrox both almost have TP up. Aatrox almost took top turret. Probably nothing's going to happen until the dragon, and Optic has control of dragon right now. 3 pink worth on both side of the map. Also has the Scuttle, I believe. They just want to maintain formation and then eventually go into dragon and force a fight there if they need to. Yep, maintaining formation, going into dragon, not pulling it out, just rushing it, knowing that TL can't come in and Gragas is on top side. Oof. I like this. Going aggressive on Jensen because they have the ward there. Jensen getting burned by Valkyrie damage right now. And also Crown not winning the 1v1 because it is still very much a Yasuo. Great ult follow-up by Crown, but Meteo's able to just EQ knock him up and kill him along with Draven ult. He was just taking a fight on Optic side of the map, and Crown was forced to Baron the stopwatch, but that kill feels really nice. Damn, remember what I talked about Optic not being able to side lane, but they're just doing a great job with champions that aren't traditionally side laners, like maintaining control of the side lane. Dokla, I know, is losing to his top side, but he's not bleeding anymore beyond the one death he has. He's doing a good job of stopping the hole from becoming a giant black hole of tempo, like, yeah, giant black hole where it's just sucking in tempo and it's just a constant sore for Optic. Like, Dokla's doing a good job of keeping it neutral as possible. He is losing turrets, but he's trying to keep it neutral as possible. Where on the other hand, Crown doing a really good job of building his own lead, getting vision in enemy jungle, threatening the enemy laners, enemy junglers. He's playing Corki much more proactively than I'd imagine to be. Optic setting up around the Baron now, sending Dokla to the other side of the map. He's now the weaker member, or he's always been the weaker member, but now he's playing weak side on boss side of the map. Crown pushing out as usual. Double is forced to flash just from that ultimate. Like, flash for Nautilus ult is a trait that the Nautilus will take every single time. And as we talked about, Crown able to get the top turret. Like, Crown's just doing such a good job of building his own lead. People legitimately just group with Corki, but Crown knows that he's stronger, knows that he can split push, and actually pushing the edge. Something we don't get to see a lot of in NA. Oof. It's a little bit of an overcommit, all 5 people here, but still a very nice kill onto Jensen. They can't take the straight 5v5s. Or can they? Whoa, 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 whoa. How did this even work out? Dejarbin backing. Big face checks, able to get QE'd by Meteos. Flashing in, but not enough to kill. Arrow jumped in also, not enough to kill, and ends up getting traded kills by the double lift and the Aatrox. You're not gonna live beyond that, Meteos, no way. Yeah, just bad selection from Optic. And TL grouping up right away, good on TL. Game's getting a little sloppy. Game is still very much even, Optic slightly up, but the big thing is, how are both teams setting up Baron? What is the vision like? Oof, arrow, nice try. Yeah, it's gonna come down to Baron. What is the Baron setup like? Who's getting the Baron? Who's face checking into which one? These are the big questions that's up in the air. Jensen finally joining up with the team, getting ready for this Baron fight, or not Baron, Dragon fight. Let's see what goes. Slowly getting poked out, but that poke is really meaningless, and Optic has good engages. They don't have to be that scared once Corki is nearby. Optic wants to go. They love the fact they have TL grouped up. They can play side lanes longer, but a problem that happens with them playing side lanes longer is later on the Yasuo Gragas one shot onto the back line is a very real threat. So they rather end this mid game if possible. Ooh, great flash E stun from Dokla. W after to make sure Impact can't get away. Ultimate or package from Crown splitting the team in two. Wow, out of everyone, it's Dokla that engaged. Finally grouped up. Flashy Q from Dokla. A lot of damage coming up from Crown, using the W afterward to block people trying to get away with non-flash. Very nice play and very clean response after, just running straight to Baron. Very disciplined. Let's take Baron and mid tier 1, not the dragon. We can get it after we reset, or we can get it on the way out. Looks like they're opting for getting it on the way out. These kind of fights where it's like actually an open fight and it's not in a close encounter, it is so much better for champions like Optic have. I guess even in a more close encounter, like Optic's comp would be bad at all, like Draven and Quirky, just very happy to deal damage from backline. Oof. A little bit of an overplay there. Also, no one covering Jensen's kind of troll. Jensen's only right here, we can push. Jensen's only right here, we can push. Someone has to recall, handle Jensen. No one recalling and handling Jensen. Draven TP'd in. Now 2 people recalling. Okay, 1 person recalling, handling Jensen. Or handling Impact. Holy shit. Excuse my speech today. I mean, they sent people over to handle Impact, but he's gotten so many turrets while that handling never really actually happened. It happened in the form of Poppy coming and Aatrox being like, oh, I gotten every turret topside. Peace. Oof. Optic's doing a really bad job of controlling the waves. They have 5 people here. They definitely need 1 person here or 1 person here, and make sure waves are crashing in at the same time, especially because TP from Poppy is coming up. Quirky does not have TP, but Quirky can be boss side and make sure the wave is closer. This 5-man mid is really messing with Optic's Baron. Yeah, they don't end up being able to get inhibitor turret off it, where TL got Optic's top inhibitor turret without even having Baron. Oof, this flank from Impact. Dokla doing a good job of catching out Impact, bouncing. Stopwatch coming in. Let's see how they dealt with it. Oh, barely lived. Meteos went for a short EQ into ult. But remember what we talked about Aatrox being sticky? Aatrox is so sticky here. Healing like 300, 350 HP per spell. Getting right back into 2,200 HP. This is the thing about Aatrox. He's deceptively sticky and survival heavy. Honestly, this problem could have been invaded if Optic just knew how to play mid and late game better and was able to split push and actually push the advantage with Baron. But man, Aatrox, such a sticky champion and someone you need to watch out for right now if you're not able to insta-give him. Damn, Optic was in the driver's seat by so much. And this one play. Great E. Nautilus hook missing is kind of troll though. Oof. I'm rewatching this, all I can say is why weren't they just pushing mid and bottom together instead of just 5-man grouping on mid? That makes no sense. Fighting without the fed ass Quirky. I'm not sure about that one, guys. And now it's slowly coming down to team fight. Optic put the additional dimension in their comp by the Quirky sword pushing. But ultimately still really down to team fight. I don't think Quirky is able to get turret by himself. So they are going to have to fight. And they are going to have to actively try to bring TL out of base. Can never have a 4v5 situation ever again. Especially if it's a Quirky or a Draven. Quirky and Draven have way too much items to be left alone now. Gragas waddling around, clearing out mid. Clearing out mid. Optic has mid push. You can see TL clearing it much closer to their base than Optic is. Yeah, this is a situation, it's kind of called the checkmate situation, the Baron checkmate, where you're damned if you do, and if you're damned if you don't. Where enemy team clears control of Baron, clears all the wards in Baron, and turns off the lights, and they're forcing you to come in. Because they don't have any vision, they're forced to use Blue Trinket. Impact had to come nearby because he couldn't leave the team to 4v5 at Baron. Wow, Impact. You can't just do that to people. Oof. That feels bad. They feel like they have the Aatrox caught out, but Aatrox constantly being sticky, constantly hitting the lifesteal. In there with the Yuumi. Yeah, not sure how that focusing Aatrox thing is going for you guys, Optic. And also I'm not sure about not playing the waves and just playing ARAM. Would have loved to see you guys play out the waves. Damn, this game's slipping away so quickly. Impact and Jensen, the solo laners for TL, it's incredibly important. They're useful and relevant, and they're becoming more relevant and useful the day by day. That's it. That's it. TL just gives Baron and ends on them because Optic had no idea how to play out the end game. Well, this was a nice try by Optic, and I love what they did around bot lane, and they really made TL uncomfortable. I love the Draven pick into Yuumi with the AD carry bans. That Draven pick was so good, and they were right at a point where they really could have beaten TL, but that late game knowledge and the kind of the over eagerness to fight mid, especially on the Aatrox, because they thought the Aatrox was so vulnerable, cost them this game. If I have to give major props to a player, I think Impact constantly built his own leads without that much jungle pressure, and also kept TL in the game, like him split pushing, him just being relevant without resource while bot lane bled over and over again. And Impact is also the one that teleported down bottom and got the bot lane like recontrol. Like Impact is definitely my MVP for this game. I hope you guys enjoyed that VOD review. It was really fun doing it. Optic probably gonna make playoffs. TL still probably the best team in NA right now, but it's nice to see both teams really show and have a competitive game. Really did not enjoy the NA RAM at the end though. Guys, it's fucking 2019. Why do we still not push 2 lanes with Baron?